I'm sorry, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm tired. I'm tired of everything I thought that was good in this country growing up not being what it actually is. I'm tired of everything not being what it was told to me to be. I'm tired of the fact that I served in the military, okay? I went overseas, I protected the poppy fields in Afghanistan, and guess what? That's all I was really there for. I wasn't there for any type of real patriotic anything. I was there to subjugate a Middle Eastern country, probably on the behest of another Middle Eastern country that starts with the letter I. I'm tired of finding out everything about my food has been a lie to me. I'm tired of figuring out everything about our government has been a lie. I'm tired of figuring out that sports, something that I love at the professional level, is just a giant circus. They just want you to bet. They just want you to drink. They just want you to spend money. I'm tired of every single moment of my life being treated like it's just like I'm a walking pay stub for them. Every moment I'm being marketed to. Every moment my data is being utilized so that ads can be more perfect to give a higher likelihood that maybe I will purchase now or in the future. I hate that everything's becoming a subscription. I hate that the tech bros are slowly winning and turning this into a tech surveillance state. I'm tired that everything politically is so divided that no one can even talk about it without getting angry. I'm tired that we can't make any progress. I'm tired that we can't get on the same page. I'm tired that we've seen everything happen since the Epstein list. We have plenty of reason to do something about this as a people, and nothing has happened, myself included.
Man, the older I got, the more depressing life has become, right? Not that I'm depressed, but just all of the truths just started revealing themselves, man. Like I'm the one that served in the military as well. You think that you're being all Mr. Patriotic when really you just a pawn for the major corporations. You're just a pawn for whatever other country across seas somewhere whose enemy is another country across seas, right? You grow up thinking that adults are just, adults. And you just grow to understand that every single thing from Disney, from Nickelodeon, even some of the movies that I look back on, right? Even some of the cartoons that I look back on, I just look back on it like, damn, I didn't even realize what I was seeing was what I was seeing, right? And I feel for dude, man, because I feel exactly how he feels. And I'm pretty sure many of you probably feel exactly how he feels too. A lot of us, especially, older millennials, Gen Z, we're now coming into the world, right? We're growing up and we're seeing that every single thing that was told to us is an absolute goddamn lie, right? Media, lie. Military industrial complex, lies. Prison industrial complex, lies. Politics, lies, right? The way that you make money, lies. Education, lies. Relationship, lies. Every single thing that we were fed were lies. But then can we even blame? I definitely blame the boomers. I'm gonna blame the boomers for every single thing until they 6 feet deep, right? But can we really blame, our parents and whoever else that raised us? Because think about it, they were sold the same exact propaganda, right? They were fed the same exact propaganda. They didn't know any better. Right. So they were only teaching us the only thing that they ever knew. The only thing that they ever knew was the same lies that they continue to sell us today. And you would think, man, right, in 2026, you would think that we made so much progress in the world, right? Which, listen, by all means, we have. Right, we don't stay in the barbarian days where we hitting bitches upside the head with a club. Psh, get over here, right? We're not in those days. However, there's still a lot of things that exist in 2026 that, quite frankly, shouldn't exist. Right, we're still dealing with 13th century issues when you would think that with all the technology that we have, with all of these multi-billionaires that we have, with all of the progression that we've so-called had, you would think that we would be progressing the entire world forward. But no, we're not. We're not progressing the whole world forward. If anything, it seems to some extent that the more knowledge we come into, the more technology ends up in our hands, the worse off we become. It's like we've turned off all our antennas. right? We've turned off all our human intellect. We've turned off all common sense. We've turned off every single thing, man. Right? And the world seems like it's just regressing, right? I have two concepts, okay? I have two concepts. Either the world is regressing, right? One, or two, the world has always been this way and progression was only a lie sold to us by the tech oligarchs, by the politicians, and the elite class of people, right? One or two things, or a combination of both, because to some extent, I just remember growing up and it just seemed like the world was much more at peace than it is today, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all let me know down in the comment section. Y'all let me know down in the comment section if I'm tripping or if you feel the same exact way. Let me know, right? I'm like I always say, I'm 30 years old. As of this past April 2026, I am 30 years old. I was born in 1996, right? So I was raised in the 2000s, right? So everybody who can, vouch for this, let me know if I'm tripping. Don't it seem like we were more at peace, right? Growing up, right? I remember we would just go to the basketball court. You didn't know anybody at the basketball court, right? You didn't know anybody at the basketball court, but listen, you went down to the basketball court, right? And you played basketball. Y'all shook hands, win or lose, right? And y'all went on about your business. Some of those people became lifelong friends. Some of those people, you just knew in the meantime or only knew on the court. Right nowadays, it seems like you can't go anywhere and meet anybody because everybody's all standoffish. And listen, the way that I go out into the world, I'm always open. I'm always willing to speak. I'm always willing to share my thoughts. I'm always willing to open up to people. Right? It seems nowadays so many people are just closed up, closed-minded. They're on the defense, they're on the offense, and nobody wants to talk to each other, man. And this feeds into the bigger picture, right? This feeds into the bigger picture that Broski was talking about. It just seems like why we're just a person like me. I'm just tired of all the riffraff, right? I feel exactly how Broski feel. Right, I'm tired of all the riffraff. I'm sick. I'm sick that you can't just go outside and just hey, how are you? Right? It's unfortunate that we've reached a level in politics, right? And by all means, this whole political division, this is not something that just is bound to the United States, right? It's not, right? Politics and the division is not just bound to the United States. Hell, in many other countries, many of our politics would have been skinny pop-popped, right? They would have been, thrown over a bridge in many of these other countries because a lot of things that fly in our country, in America, it doesn't fly anywhere else. They will come after you in all of these other countries. So the political instability, the political divisiveness is just not America, right? It's all over the place. But however, you would think that America's supposed to be the knight in shining armor, right? The one that's supposed to, stand up for the world, stand up for righteousness. But America's not that. And that is exactly the propaganda that they fed us growing up, right? Oh, say can you? Yeah, all of the whole thing, man, the whole shebang, right? The whole shebang ends up being a complete lie. And when you wake up to all of this, right? When you wake up to all of it, it's just like, where do you even go in life now? Right? And I think the reason why Broski is so tired, right? And that's one of the reasons why I just left the United States. I just got tired of all the bull crap, right? I got tired of all the bull crap. But it's just like, well, if everything that I was told was a lie, right? From school, education, right? They lying to me about what's in my food, bro. They lying to us about what's in the water. They're lying about what they're doing, right? They're lying to us about who's in control. Who's really running the show? Is it really the president of the United States, or is it some other foreign entity that starts with an I, right? Who's really running the show, right? What is the real reason that y'all are telling us, these things in the public indoctrination camps, the public education school system? What's the real reason y'all don't want us to get educated? Right? What's the real reason why y'all want to lock us in these 9 to 5s, like working 12 hours, 10 hours, 5, 6 days a week, not even that, right? Or having 2 or 3 jobs, right? Never having time for family. What is the reason? What is the reason? What is the reason? Right? And it's just, where do you go from here? Right? And I'm asking y'all, ask yourself this. Where do you go from there? Right? To some people just freeze up. Remember my last video, I showed you a woman, she was just walking with her phone and she was just crying on the camera, right? Talking about how, basically despicable people are, right? How people are so mean to one another and just so fake to one another, right? And somebody who's truly good, somebody who has a good heart, somebody who has a good spirit about themselves, who want to see, humanity head in the right direction, it weighs a ton, right? It weighs a ton. Some people just crash, right? Some people crash out. Some people, just bury their heads in a book. Some people just go in isolation mode. Some people go hang with the sheep. Right? Everybody handle this in a own little weird way. Right? With me, I kind of just, I change my environments. I kind of, stay away from people. I'm kind of distrusting, right? I don't trust people like that. I don't trust anybody, right? Because, just every single thing that I was led to believe was the truth was indeed not the truth and nothing but the lies. Right? And it's just like, well, when you're a real thinker, right? This shit weighs a ton, man. This shit weighs a ton every single day. Like even me just making these videos every single day is just like, well, damn. Like if everything is almost like, well, damn, if everything is a lie, ninja, like what's the point? Like if everything is a lie, what if you really not in control? What if you're being led by an algorithm, ninja? Have you ever thought about that, ninja? What if you're being led by an algorithm? What if the algorithm is controlling you, ninja? What if you're actually not in control, right? What if you think you're eating healthy, ninja, when you're not really you just get to thinking about all of this stuff and it's just like, to some extent, not even to some extent, to a lot of extent, you just got to let go, man. You just got to let go. I mean, that's the only solution. I mean, because think about it. If you hold all of this stuff in, if you continue to think about all of this stuff that's going on, the evil that's going on, the Epstein list and all of this stuff, right? If you continue to think about all of this stuff, right, from the water to the food to the politics, right, to the division, this stuff will drive you nuts. This stuff will drive you crazy. So it's like, there's no point with thinking on this day in and day out. There's no point, right? I make my videos about it and then that be it. I go out and enjoy my life, right? I go out and enjoy my life after I make these little videos, after I do my little research. I don't really try to dive too deep into stuff anymore because it's like, it's going to come down to like, what is the point? What is the point diving so deep in? Am I about to save the world? No. Are you about to save the world? More than likely, no. Right? Are the people who got all the cash and all the power, are they about to save the world? Absolutely not. And if you think you're about to save the world, just ask everybody who tried to do it, right? And they're probably not alive to actually tell you anything anyway, right? Or you wouldn't even last that long to do anything anyway. Listen, the world is despicable. The world is despicable. The world is not a nice place. The world is filled with nice people. The world is filled, don't get it twisted. The world is filled up with good people, genuine people, right? But the people who are our so-called leaders, the people who are, in control of things, right? Not even just in control of things. It's from the highs to the lows, from the lows to the highs, to the middle, whatever the case is, right? It's evil all over. right? And the systems that we were led to believe that they said that work, man, them shits don't work. They don't work. They will never work. And now more than ever, they definitely are not going to work because they got bigger things and bigger fish to fry and a lot more money to make. That's why they rolling out what they rolled out. That's why they're going to continue to roll out what they're going to roll out. And there's nothing that anybody is going to do about it. Clearly, people are subconsciously, people are definitely terrified, I believe. Subconsciously, people are definitely terrified. They're terrified. And what do people do when they're terrified, right? It's either a fight or flight. And most are going to fly. They're going to fly into their vices. They're going to fly into the alcohol. They're going to fly into the partying. They're going to fly into the spending. They're going to fly into just forgetting about it. Because at the end of the day, what are you going to do about it? And that's an after pill, man. Listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP life is how you should live in purpose, in freedom, and in power. If you want to know more about escaping, if you want to know more about building your own sovereignty, hit that link in the description. Come over and join the Patreon. If you want to join a high intensity group full of like-minded individuals, come over and join the inner circle as well. And we will lead you on a path that you need to be led on. We will be having our first networking event in Cartagena, Colombia. So if you want to be a part of that, come and join the Patreon. Come and join the inner circle. We will be having our first networking event at the end of December, going into the New Year's. So be there or be square. And I will see you guys on the next video. And I will see you guys on the Patreon. Peace.